Have you ever felt rushed and anxious, like you just wanted to hurry up and get this over with? Could be an important phone call, could be a meeting. You start feeling kind of nervous, anxious, and you're just like, I want to hurry up and get this over with. And so what usually happens is you speak really fast, which we're going to talk about. That has its own effects. But you don't say all the things that you want to say because you want to hurry up and get it out as quickly as possible. And so people don't understand, or they don't follow everything that you're saying, even though you're smart, you're competent, you know what you want to say, you know your stuff. But because you're feeling anxious, you're feeling rushed, you do rush, you speak fast, you don't articulate well, and so you don't communicate your true knowledge and your true skill. My name is Michael Williams, and in this video, this is the second video, actually the third, because we did an introduction. We did video 1, which was on negative anticipation. And in this video, we're going to talk about something closely related to negative anticipation. That is feeling anxious and rushed. Feeling anxious and rushed. And so the name of this series is 7 of the most common speaking challenges that people have. And one of them is feeling anxious and rushed. So when we say feeling anxious and rushed, what are we talking about? Well, you know, if you have something important coming up, and this can happen to any of us, right? Something important coming up that may be out of your comfort zone, or there's some important people there, or the stakes are high, you and I can start to feel a little anxious, right? We can feel a little nervous about performing well. So let's talk about some of the top reasons that people feel this way. Some of the top reasons that people may feel anxious and rushed. Number 1 has to do with the fear of judgment. Fear of judgment. A second one is fear of failure. We'll talk a little bit about that. And the third one is actually previous experiences. Previous experiences. So let's dig into these just a little bit here. One of the reasons that often people feel anxious and rush through things is because they have a fear of what the other person may say about them or may think about them. And the more authority and influence this person has over them, then often the more anxious this person feels, right? The more anxious you and I can feel. So if you are in a meeting, again, this could be a Zoom meeting or whatever, and the higher ups are there, the VP or some manager or managing vice president or someone higher up is there who you know has a lot of influence over your promotions, over how well you do, over how people see you, how your colleagues see you, how they view you, right, over your career, then it can often cause greater pressure, right? Because in the back of your mind, if you start to worry about or think about, what is this person going to think of me? And it's important that they see me in a good light, that they have a good perspective or good perception of me. It's important that I make a good impression, that I perform well, right? Then what you're actually doing is putting unnecessary and extra pressure on yourself, which actually causes you to experience the opposite of what you want. You generally won't perform as well when you have that kind of pressure bearing down on you. So when a person has authority, then this can, doesn't always, but this can cause the feelings of anxiousness and nervousness to be greater, right? Because that person can have more influence, can have more of an impact on your career, on your job. So you think. Something else that can cause us to feel anxious and nervous is just the fear of messing up, of failing. It's not just the fear of messing up, it's the feelings, the embarrassment, and the feelings of, wow, other people are going to see me as not being competent. What are people going to think about me if and when I fail, right? And so it's that fear of failure and the bad feelings that come along with it. None of us like to feel bad. And when we don't perform as well as we'd like, we don't feel good about ourselves. Okay, so it impacts our self-esteem and self-image. And then the next one are just previous experiences, right? If you have memories of yourself not performing well, then those are the only things that your brain has to go back and look at in order to predict your future performance. So it goes back and says, how did we perform the last time, this last meeting, the last interview, the last phone call, whatever it is. So then your brain says, oh, we didn't perform that well. Instantly, before you can even think about it, you start to feel anxious, you start to project that into your current situation or your future speaking experience, right? So previous experiences can also cause us to feel very anxious automatically without conscious thought. This is very important. So what can you do about it? Well, one of the things that you have to begin to do is to reframe the speaking situation. You reframe the speaking situation. So where you think about something like an interview or an important meeting coming up, instead of thinking about it like, oh, there's this big meeting that's coming up, and I hope I don't mess up. I hope I perform well. I have to perform well because these people are going to be there. You look at it and you speak about it as an opportunity to demonstrate how sharp you are, right? And to demonstrate your knowledge. And so there are some very specific things that you can shift your focus over to while you're preparing and while you're speaking that helps you keep your focus off of these things. Because as soon as you get distracted by these things, then often our speech goes and our thinking goes, right? So what you want to do is to shift your focus over to some very specific things when you're in the moment as well as when you're preparing for that moment. And we teach you those things, those very, very specific things. I couldn't even do it in this video if I wanted to, but we teach you those things in the Pro 90D Ultimate Smooth Speech System or in the coaching, right? You get those specific things in the videos, audios, and the PDFs. But one of the things that we teach you is how to reframe. So you, instead of saying, oh my God, this is coming up and I hope this doesn't happen, and you might not articulate it verbally, but you might think it, you reframe it and go, wow, I'm excited. Instead of thinking or saying, I'm nervous, I'm anxious, I'm worried, you actually say, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this. This is an opportunity for me to practice, opportunity for me to demonstrate what I know. So you reframe. Here's another tip. Here's another strategy. Is you actually tell yourself, I don't really care who's there. I'm still going to say what I want to say the way that I want to say it. So it's kind of a way of reframing, but you're telling yourself, I don't care if the president is there. I don't care if the manager is there, the supervisor. I don't care if there's 100 people, 1,000 people, or 2 people. I'm still going to just say what I want to say the way that I want to say it. You keep reminding yourself, it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter. I'm going to have other opportunities. Then you're taking the pressure off yourself. You're taking the pressure off of yourself. And this is very important because when you negatively anticipate and you frame it one way, you're putting unnecessary pressure on yourself, right? So when you reframe, wow, I'm looking forward to this, I'm really excited, or when you say, I don't really care who's there, I'm going to perform well, I'm going to say what I want to say the way that I want to say it, right? Then what you're doing is you're actually giving yourself a fighting chance and you're setting yourself up to perform well. So I hope that that makes sense. So when you feel anxious and rushed, generally speaking, it's because of these 3 reasons. Yes, there are a lot more, but these are 3 of the most common reasons. And a couple of the things that you can do to shift that is reframe and restate, kind of reaffirm that you really don't care who's going to be there. Now, these are just 2 things. In the self-study and in the coaching, we give you very, very specific mental tools as well as practice exercises and things that you can watch and listen to on a daily basis that helps you shift your focus and keep your focus where it needs to be, not just in the moment, but leading up to the moment. Just keep this in mind, and you'll hear me say this over and over. It's not just what you do in the moment that's important. It's what you do in all the moments leading up to that moment that's important, right? It's what you do in all the moments leading up to that moment that's important. So everything that you do, every moment, every single day, is helping to prepare you for those higher pressure speaking situations. And so that's why it's very important to have a system, a scientifically based, I want to use the word proven because it's been out for more than a decade. It's been tested by people all over the world. So it's a systematic process that gives you the information that you need to change the way that you think on a moment-to-moment basis, change the way that you speak, your speaking style, and changes the way you see yourself, your speaking identity. So you have a choice. I want to strongly encourage you to take action. What action? Enroll in the self-study. Enroll in the self-study right now. Or for those of you that are ready and you want to work with me one-on-one, then work with me one-on-one. It accelerates the process. But I would strongly encourage you that one of your first steps is to enroll into the self-study and get started now. If you're not communicating well, you're missing opportunities, you're missing out on life, and you're losing money. When you communicate well, you can take advantage of opportunities, you can earn more money, and you can enjoy life. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The time's going to pass anyway, so why not get started doing something now? Invest in yourself. My name is Michael Williams, and I'll see you in the next video.